Using this template, I'm going to show you guys how I connected up Pinecone, Slack, and n8n to build out this really cool AI agent automation. We're using Pinecone as our vector database. By the end of this quick video, you guys will understand how this template is set up, how it works, and how it can help a small or medium-sized business with answering frequently asked questions, scheduling meetings, drafting emails, and how it can manage all of your knowledge for you. So taking it for a spin, this is an internal tool for Mike's Plumbing, for example. Mike himself, the business owner, or anyone on his team can come to this designated channel and message and interact with our AI agent. So if we say, what cities do we service? Fire that off. It'll run in n8n, hit up our AI assistant or our AI agent, and then get back to us with factual knowledge based on the knowledge that we provide inside of our Pinecone index. So you can see it got back to us with a reply, and this is the reply. Mike's Plumbing serves the following cities in Utah County, and it lists every single one of them right here. But what if I wanted to do a little bit more complex tasks? We can say something like, schedule a call with Mark for this Wednesday at noon to go over his project and draft an email to him as well. We're going to fire that off to our AI agent. It'll get back to us in just a moment. Cool, so let's check out the reply and see what it did. So the call with Mark is scheduled for this Wednesday, September 10th at 12 p.m. to discuss his project. I've also drafted the following email to confirm. So if we go to my drafts right here, hit refresh, we see this guy right here. So, hi Mark, this is to confirm our call scheduled for Wednesday at noon to discuss your project in detail. Here are all the details, right? Please let me know if you need to adjust the timing. Best, Mike. And it's addressed to the proper email. And you can also see in my calendar right here, Wednesday for the 10th at noon, we've got a call with Mark S to review the project, right? And it even went ahead and invited him to the call. Now let's hop over into n8n. Let's go to executions, and I want to show you what route or what paths it went down for that execution. So you can see as we zoom in really quick, it received the message from Slack. It sent that over to our AI agent to determine basically the course of action, to interpret, okay, what is this message that the user is sending into us? And let's come up with a plan based on the tools that we have access to. So these are all of the tools: draft email, contact sheet, schedule event, calendar context, calendar availability, and this RAG database inside of Pinecone if it needs to go in and retrieve factual knowledge for us, which in this case, it didn't need to do that. We're using GPT 4.1 as the brain for this AI agent, some simple chat memory right here so that our AI agent can remember the last 10 messages that were sent in the conversation. So you can make this however long you want it to be. Currently, I have it set to the previous 10 messages. You can set it to 50 or 100 if you want it to remember that far back in the conversation. What that means is inside of Slack, if I go to the same thread and continue the conversation on from here, I don't need to give it all of the context prior in the conversation. It can just go back and retrieve all of that context before. Like if I say, obviously we're talking about Mark right now. If I say, draft another email to him saying this, the AI agent will know, okay, him is referring to Mark based on the prior context, the prior conversations, the messages prior that already happened, if that makes sense. So it determined the course of action. Okay, so to draft an email and to schedule an event, we need Mark's email address. We probably want to hit up the contact sheet really quick and grab and search through that contact sheet, see if Mark even exists. If he does, grab his email. Cool, we've got the email. Now what we can do is we can draft up the email. Cool, email drafted. Now we need to schedule the call. In order to schedule the call, we need to grab the calendar context first, and then we need to check Mason's calendar or Mike's calendar for availability. Once we have both of those, we have enough context to see, first off, is Mike free during that time? If so, cool, we have all the information we need. We can go ahead and call upon this tool lastly to execute and schedule the event itself, inviting Mark and everything, filling in all the details there, and then getting back with a summary or response to the user, which we're then sending back to Slack in that same thread. And if we look at the one prior, so let me zoom in really quick, the query prior was, what services do we provide, or what cities do we service was the query. So it sent it in from Slack. The AI agent determined, okay, we need some factual knowledge on Mike's Plumbing. For that, we need to hit up our knowledge base right here, which is in Pinecone. Inside of Pinecone, this is what that looks like. So Pinecone, this is our index for Mike's Plumbing. And we currently have 2 files vectorized in this Pinecone index. What it looks like right here, so these are our vectorized files right here. We have Mike's Plumbing FAQs.pdf, and we also have this copy of Mike's Plumbing detailed general knowledge base, which is just a Google Doc. So 2 different types of documents. They're already vectorized. We have that documented inside of our master spreadsheet right here. When we first pushed it through the system to vectorize into our RAG database, I'll show you all of that process in just a sec. We're basically documenting all of the vector IDs right here, and then the Google Drive file ID and Drive folder URL in case we want to reference it. This is the workflow that it's following when the user goes to Slack to interact with this AI agent. Now, before that, in order to vectorize files, in order to add files to our knowledge base, to our Pinecone index, we need to follow this green workflow down here. So this vectorized files pipeline is what it looks like. So all I have to do as the user is drag and drop new files that I want to add to my knowledge base into this designated folder right here called 0.new files. So I can add TXT files, PDF files, Word doc files, and Google Doc files into here to automatically kick off. I set it to a cadence of every 1 minute. It basically checks this folder, Google Drive through the API, checks this folder to see if there are any new files that need to be vectorized. If so, it grabs them and then pushes them through the system. And that's what you're seeing right here. So based on the file type, if it's a Google Doc, PDF, TXT, or Word doc, it's traveling down one of these 4 routes and then hitting up Pinecone, or it's essentially we're creating the vector embeddings, which are just a long list of numbers that represent the data, if that makes sense. Let me push it through the system really quick for you guys just to show you. I just went ahead and made a PDF version of the general knowledge base document. So you'll see that pop up here just a sec. So copy of Mike's Plumbing detailed general knowledge base.pdf. Now, any moment, n8n will kick off and send this file through the pipeline. You'll see this in just a sec. It's set to auto refresh, so we'll just wait till this kicks off, and then I'll go back through the workflow and show you exactly what's happening. So you can see it's currently running in the background right now. Okay, so we can see what route it took to finish and vectorize that file into Pinecone. So you can see in our new files folder, it's no longer there. It moved the file for us to our vectorized file folder, and then inside of our master sheet, you can see this new file showed up right here with its associated vector IDs right here. This is associated with Pinecone. I'll get to it in just a sec. So we downloaded the PDF, which is in binary data. We're vectorizing it, so we're creating vector embeddings. We can double click right here. This is what I'm talking about with vector embeddings. This long list, this long array of numbers that you're seeing right here is essentially just representation of this chunk of text right here. So Mike's Plumbing detailed knowledge base, about us, Mike's Plumbing is a family-oriented or family-owned and operated business, blah, blah, blah. This right here, these are vector embeddings. It basically equates to this in English language. These vector embeddings are stored as vectors inside of Pinecone, which is our RAG database. These two right here, this is just the default data loader, and we're chunking up the file. Whatever file gets pushed through the system, we're chunking it up by 2,000 characters with a 400 character overlap. We're moving the file to the vectorized files folder, and then we're going through to fetch the IDs from Pinecone so that we can aggregate everything. We're running it through some code right here to basically match up those vector IDs with the associated file that was just vectorized. And then we're basically adding a row to our master sheet right here to just document, okay, this file right here is currently vectorized inside of our Pinecone database. Now, if I want to delete this file from and just remove it from Pinecone, because right now, currently, any file listed right here currently can be retrieved in our RAG database in Pinecone for factual knowledge. If we wish to remove it, all I have to do is go to delete. So I'll just click delete really quick. And what that's going to do is it's going to fire off a webhook inside of n8n right here. So you can see it's currently running and it just succeeded. And that's what this workflow in red is taking care of. It's basically our delete vectorized files workflow. So whenever I hit delete on that row inside of our master sheet, you can see it deletes entirely. It hits up this webhook, sends all of that row data from the Google Sheet to this webhook, which we're then going back into Pinecone, accessing the delete vectors endpoint to remove all of the associated vectors with that file that we wish to remove. And then we're moving that document from the vectorized files folder to the removed files folder inside of our Google Drive. So currently we were in our vectorized files folder. Now in our removed files folder, you can see that this document is where it resides, and I'm not deleting it entirely from Google Drive because maybe I want to reference this later, or maybe I want to, maybe it's still useful for me. So right now we're just going to store it in this removed files folder. But now the next time I go back to interact with this AI agent right here, it's not going to retrieve any knowledge associated with this file that you're seeing right here because I removed it from Pinecone. And you will no longer see its associated vectors right here in our Pinecone index. So there you have it. This whole template is available for you guys for free inside of my free community, Automate What Academy. You can just click the link in the description below to take you there. So come join us. I have many other templates in there. And then if you want additional advanced templates with full walkthrough tutorial videos, then you can join us over in Automate What Academy Pro. I have a full AI agents course as well as a full make.com pro course as well. I know this template is for n8n, but I specialize using make.com. Ultimately, both platforms do the exact same thing. Make.com has its pros, n8n has its pros. Honestly, unless you have super lengthy workflows and heavy or frequent executions of these workflows, they basically, when it comes to pricing, they're pretty much 50-50. And of course, you also have access to my whole templates library right here, each of them with the blueprint files and the full walkthrough video showing you from scratch to finish how to configure the whole thing. But of course, either way, if you just want to stick in the free community, I'm still happy to have you there. Just hit up the free community right here, go to Classroom, and then underneath free resources right here and build showcases, you can find the template there. My name is Mason. I've been building out no-code automations like this for about 2 years now, and I actually offer this as a service to businesses. It's been a really fun journey. AI is very fast-paced, so it's fun to just keep up with all the new and exciting tools, and I love sharing with you guys. If you haven't, go ahead and subscribe because I've got tons of cool content coming in the pipeline, and you're not going to want to miss it. Thanks, guys.